How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Something brutal just happened in crypto, and I realize we've been talking about a lot of things recently, some really bullish, some very bearish, and it seems like on a daily basis, we get bearish news and we get bullish news back and forth, but today we got some pretty sad news, some brutal news for U.S. customers. And that is that the SEC continues to go after the crypto industry. Now, if you look at the crypto market right now, we're down a lot, but this is all what happened yesterday with Binance. We're pretty much at the same level that we were yesterday. However, there was some big news that was announced in the last 15 minutes. I want to cover that, but there is a silver lining, some news, some good news that has come out, and some big events that are happening in the next 7 days. I'm going to cover all that. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on that bell notification underneath the video. There are also links in case you want to see exactly what I'm buying and selling in the Patreon, and some other links down there too in case you want some free money. Like I said, the crypto market is down on the last 24 hours, a pretty significant amount, 4.1%, but this is all pretty much due to yesterday. We know yesterday the SEC claimed that crypto assets, SOL, ADA, Matic, File, Atom, and Sand were all securities. They called 𝗡cie, basically saying that they're operating unregistered exchange, securities exchange, and they also said that they were commingling funds, among other things, artificially trading volumes, inflating trading volumes, offering staking as a service, etc. So they sued Binance yesterday. We know that. We covered it in a couple videos. Now we got news that SEC is suing Coinbase over exchange and staking programs. The stock is dropping 15%, now 16% in the pre-market. Not what you want to see, especially after they've gone after so many different exchanges. Now they're going after probably the most, it seems like one of the most US-based crypto exchanges. They've tried to do everything right, and now they're getting sued. Personally, I think this is a sad day when a company that has been approved for an IPO has been pretty strict about what they list. They don't offer derivatives. They offer staking, but many people think that is completely fine in the crypto industry, that is not a security. It's a sad day when this happens. When Coinbase can't work with regulators, they're just attacked. We'll have to see exactly what Coinbase comes back and says, because this is just as of like 15 minutes ago. But they were not charged with everything that Binance was charged with. So they said operating as an unregistered broker, operating as an unregistered exchange, operating as an unregistered clearing agency, offering the sale of unregistered securities, SOL, ADA, Matic, File, Sand, 𝗡cie, 𝗡cie, Flow, ICP, etc. So they list more securities according to the SEC, but they were not commingling funds. They weren't doing anything sketchy like that. Basically, they just said that they have to register. Now, I'm sure Coinbase would have done that if they had gotten the proper guidance and been helped along, because they have been trying to do everything, check every single box that they can, but the SEC has not given them clear indications as to what they have to do. At this point, I think every single exchange in the U.S. that works in the U.S. should probably be nervous. If you are an investor in the U.S., I don't know how much this affects you here today. It sucks, but Coinbase will fight it. They've said that before. It was pretty obvious that they're going to get sued. They've gotten Wells notices, and they were not willing to take down their staking platform. I think it's a big money maker for them. So I would not be surprised if this continues to happen. These are long and drawn out until something changes with the SEC, or there are enough people that come to the SEC and say, hey, this isn't right. Basically, trying to drum up support for the crypto industry. But I don't know how much this matters for the next bull run. Of course, it's crappy. It's harder to get money in, but I think the next bull run will still happen either way. And it might just happen outside the US. People won't be able to get as much money in because of choke point 2.0. And that's when people will get really pissed off. If large institutional investors can't get money in, and it's difficult for them to get money in when the market's taking off, there might be a change then. Now, this happens a day after Binance put in had hundreds of millions pulled out. According to this, 780 million flew out of Binance in the wake of the SEC lawsuit, and this article actually says 1.5 billion in a day. So depending on where you look, significant amounts of money either way is coming out of Binance. Whenever there's some news like this, people flee, they go to the exits. Personally, I don't think this is as much of a big deal with Coinbase, and I want to be careful. I think that all crypto should be taken off and put on cold storage. That's safer than everything else, with the exception of whatever you're trading at the time. But I think Coinbase will be fine. With that in mind, still makes sense to pull money off. We have other news though. Tether invests in El Salvador's $1 billion renewable energy project. So at the same time that the US is continuously pressuring and brutalizing the crypto industry, other countries are adapting. Tether is going to invest money. They're going to be one of the first and one of the biggest, it sounds like, investors in this renewable energy project to mine Bitcoin. Also, Hong Kong government approves trading for Sand, ADA, Matic, Sol, and 𝗡ście. At the same time, the SEC is suing crypto exchanges for having markets for those exact cryptocurrencies. So these are not the same. Of course, China and Hong Kong could always ban these at some point in the future. But this is just the two sides of crypto right now. The countries adopting, Dubai, Hong Kong, El Salvador, and then the countries that are just absolutely destroying any kind of innovation. And this really will hurt long term. This is costing the US billions of dollars right away because they're suing some companies that would reinvest in the US, and they're losing hundreds of billions, trillions of dollars long term if they really do stop people from investing in this asset class. One other silver lining is in both these lawsuits, the Binance and Coinbase lawsuits, they did not mention ETH as a security. So that's always positive too. Now we have a couple big events coming up next week. This could influence markets, crypto markets, stock markets. It could change sentiment. CPI scheduled for a week from today at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. After that, the day after, we have PPI. So that would be a big event too. PPI, Producer Price Index, kind of a leading indicator of inflation. And then that same day, we have the next Fed meeting. We'll know how much they raise rates. There's a small chance now that they're going to raise 25 basis points, but we've seen a slightly higher unemployment rate. We've seen low inflation continue to come in. We've seen a lot of pain in different markets like the banking sector. So I would not be surprised to see them wait. I would not be surprised if they went 25 basis points too, if these two inflation readings come in a little bit high. At this point, I don't think it really matters long term, but you can see that the markets are rallying over the last couple weeks, especially tech stocks, with the thought that we won't have to raise very much more. Overall, I don't think the 25 basis points really matter if you're looking a year or two down the line, but might give us some good opportunities to buy into some fear if we do end up raising 25 basis points. If not, I would not be surprised if we made a pretty good rally. But let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. I did make a video last week about how I was buying Bitcoin heavier and how I bought a significant amount. And that was when we were around 27,000. To be clear, not the best timing. If I could go back and push it back 2 or 3 days, that'd be great. But as I said in that video, I was not trying to time the market. I fully realized that Bitcoin could fall 50% or more when I bought that. And if it falls significantly, I said I'd buy more. That being said, we have fallen a little bit. So I am looking at buying again, especially if we move further down from here. This has been a pretty good support above 25,000. So if we break down from there, might be an interesting buying in opportunity again. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Check out the links underneath the video. Turn on that bell notification, hit subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.